It's a dark morning here at Dieppe railway station, and yeah, there it is, a nice little SNCF station at the end of this little branch line from Rouen. And that's my first job. We're going to go from Dieppe to Rouen and then change, and then we're off to Paris St Lazare, or Paris St Lazare. We've got some time at Rouen, so let's pop in here, have a quick look at Dieppe station, jump on the train, and then also have a look at Rouen as we travel through. And this station, that station, and St Lazare, let's see how it goes. I'd slept very well the night before, just 3 minutes walk away at the Ibis Budget Hotel. Dieppe station is fairly busy with all the comings and goings on a Thursday morning. The station itself dates from 1848, and it's now a lovely, albeit small station at the end of this line. There's a shop, some ticket machines, a travel centre that may open later, and just a couple of platforms. It's hard to show in this gloom, but Dieppe was clearly a much bigger station back in the day. There used to be direct services to Paris, but these days you have to catch this shuttle service to Rouen and then change there. Anyway, we are greeted by a fairly new Régiolis bi-mode multiple unit, and we will need the diesel today as most of this route to Rouen is not electrified. And on board there's certainly plenty of space for all kinds of luggage, and although it's second class throughout, these seats look really good. Well, legroom is okay, although definitely going to be tight for 4 people, but the seats have European plug power outlets under the quality wooden armrests, and the seat itself and the moquette look pretty neat in this deep purple, and you don't expect reading lights in second class for sure. And the overhead luggage space is also generous. Therefore, this feels like a very nice regional train. Okay, before we head out, let's have a look at this first leg. We'll head south through the Normandy countryside before the first stop at Ophé. Then there's just 2 more stops, one at Clare and another at Montville, after which we'll join the electrified line from Le Havre for the final run into Rouen. The distance is 63 kilometres or 39 miles, and the journey is scheduled to take 49 minutes, which gives us a reasonable average speed of 77 kilometres per hour or 48 miles per hour. The train leaves spot on time and is very soon hitting the maximum line speed. It's hard to make out, but Ophé looks to be a really well-kept station. I'm impressed. There's also 2 platforms here at this station, as it's a passing place on what is currently a single-track line. At Clare, the main station building has not fared as well as Ophé, but the modern facilities still do look pretty good. Clare is also where the track now doubles for the rest of the ride into Rouen. And now for a delightful run down the valley of La Clarette on our way to Montville. Montville looks to be a pretty town from up here, and we're about 9 miles from Rouen, so it's very much a commuter town. Well, it may be a grey December morning, but in the summer these trees would block much of that view of the town and the valley. At Malonnet we join the electrified line coming in from Le Havre, and we cross the Malonnet Viaduct. And here we are at Rouen Rive Droite. We are spot on time, a very good start to the day's travelling. Right, I want a quick look at the station and then I'm going to get some breakfast while I'm here. First up is the more modern extension hall, but let's walk through to the real beauty. The hall, which dates from the 20th century rebuild and which was inaugurated in 1928. Let's go outside for a look at this little Art Nouveau masterpiece. And yes, this really is a timeless masterpiece, and you'll get to see later why that clock tower is on the far right of the station facade. Back inside, I bought my breakfast and sat in this space for a wonderful 10 minutes. Isn't it glorious? Oh, and the additional artworks give the hungry traveller something else to gaze upon. And with Guy de Maupassant, or at least the top little bit of him behind me, here we are in the park in Rouen. And I could have got to Paris from Dieppe a lot quicker than this. There was a connecting train at Rouen and I could have been speeding my way to Paris, but I've not been to Rouen since I was a school kid, so I thought I'd spend an hour and a half here, get some breakfast, which was very nice at the railway station, spend a bit of time looking at the station, what a hell of a station Rouen is, and then, you know, have a little walk around places like this lovely park and maybe down to the river and back. And then I'll be picking up the 1017 into Paris St Lazare. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that first little hop. Let's get on to Paris. The metro runs directly under the road to the station and then over the river, connecting the city's left bank with the mainline trains. Well, the view down here on the river is absolutely marvellous. And you think about the hills over there or the wonderful river itself, and the thing that's excited me is over here is the coolest pair of kids slides. Are they for kids? I'd have a go. Not this morning though, with a rucksack on and a train to catch. My time in Rouen is drawing to a close, so I just need to walk back up the hill to the station, and then it all becomes clear why the clock tower on the station is offset to the right. Over the years, I wonder how many travellers have hurried up this road, keeping a watchful eye on the clock, hoping to make their connections all across France. Something my camera did not pick up was the WTF look the ambulance driver gave me as that bloke just wandered out in front of him. Righto, well, the train is on time, so before we go down to the platform, let's have a look at the route for part 2 of the journey. Right, let's start with an advance apologies to any French speakers. Here we go, more French place names. The whole journey is roughly southeast following the Seine, and we'll call at Uzelles, Val-de-Reuil, Guillon-Aubevoye, Vernon-Giverny, and Mantes-la-Jolie. And from there, our train will run fast through the suburbs of Paris until it rolls into Paris St Lazare. This section will cover 140 kilometres or 87 miles and should take us just short of an hour and a half. And that equates to a very good average speed, for a regional train at least, of 92 kilometres per hour or 57 miles per hour. Incidentally, there's lots of ticket machines here, and they all have NOMAD branding, which is for these regional services in Normandy. The train starts here, so it is patiently waiting at the platform. Rouen has always had these subterranean platforms, as the station was constructed between 2 tunnels. This has also meant it's very difficult to extend any of the platform level dimensions. Our ride will be a pair of class Z26500 TER-2N double-deck electric multiple units. These date from 2006, but I think they still look smart. Let's have a nosy round while it's quiet. Just as with the first train, the second class offering is excellent, with comfortable seats, large tray tables and plenty of legroom. And the lower salon features lots of bike space and accessible features. And also the bit I do like, the sofa. There's another even bigger sofa on the link section, and then we cross into first class. And you'd be hard pressed to notice any difference in first class, apart from a red moquette and some ones put on the windows. Still, it's really quiet, so I'm going to help myself to this bank of 4 seats. The tables are maybe a bit bigger than second class, but I don't think the legroom has changed, and the seats, well, they're identical, although at least they're very comfortable. Some of the seats have a central armrest, but some do not, and the power supply is squashed behind the seats and completely inaccessible. Still, there's a blind, and because it's first class, there's a table lamp, which is of course the curse of the railway YouTuber. Just look at all those annoying reflections. Once we're through the tunnel, we are joined by the line coming up from the quayside. Then there's one more tunnel before we cross the Seine on the Opley Viaduct. Oiselle looks to be another nice little Normandy station. But as we leave, the view from the bridge isn't great. Well, not at first, anyway. The westbound line here will eventually take you to Cherbourg. Maybe that's another ferry port I should try. And after one more crossing of the Seine, we can roll into Val de Reuil. Val de Reuil is actually a new town which was inaugurated only in 1972. The original Brutalist station has now been replaced by a 21st century structure. The town itself is twinned with Workington in the UK. Gaillac-Aubevoye certainly has a lot of cars in the car park. Journey time from here to Paris is now about 1 hour, so I suppose we're just into commuting distance from the capital. And on the exit there appears to be a big Grand Marnier facility here too. It is said that Claude Monet first noticed Giverny out of a train window and moved here as a result in 1883. Some of his most famous paintings were painted here in his own garden. Mont-la-Jolie is a major interchange of 4 lines, and they seem to be busily improving the track layout with all this infrastructure work going on. This also marks our last stop, as we are now about 40 minutes out of Paris and will run fast from here on in. And so now it's time to kick back and watch the view from the window turning from rural to suburban to urban as we feel the inexorable pull of the big city. As we speed into Paris, let's look at what this journey could cost. Well, I'm on an Interrail ticket today, but if you were to buy a ticket for this ride, with only limited notice, you might expect to pay about €22.10 for second class or €38.10 for first class. Now, judging by the difference in comfort, I think you'd be fine with a second class ticket, and I think that's a very good deal. The SNCF Technic Centre heralds our arrival into St Lazare itself, Port Cardenay being the last of those local stations before the terminus. And here we are, we've taken 2 trains from Dieppe to Paris, both being smooth, comfortable and on time. Excellent! As it's such a dull day, the train shed here at St Lazare really isn't coming up trumps, but I'm sure it will be better on a sunny day. No doubt our train will be turning on its heel to speed back to Normandy, but I'm going to be pressing on across Paris to Gare de l'Est to continue on my journey to Luxembourg. But that will be for a future video. So in the meantime, let's enjoy the interior of one of Paris's major railway station, which has now been converted into a bright and airy shopping centre. Yes, I love what they've done to the place. If you've enjoyed this little run from Dieppe to Paris with SNCF, then do give it a like, and if you've not already, subscribe to the channel so you can join me on my further adventures through France, Luxembourg, Belgium and the Netherlands. Oh, and if you are new to the channel, there's now 100 old travel reports that you can dip into to while away those dark winter evenings to help plan your trips in 2024. But for now, from Gare St Lazare in Paris, it's goodbye and thank you for watching.